Hey guys, it's already chilly out here. Have to get a heavier jacket. Wait. Oh, turn the volume down. There we go. Okay. Hey, Center Stars, welcome. Got a couple people in. Linda. Just a little bit more. Hey, Christine, welcome. Okay. I'm gonna have to dig out my warmer jacket. I ran back up in the house at the last minute to try to get it, and I'm not even sure where the hell it is. I had to do the graveyard shift last night. Well, I should say maybe still early this morning. And one building I was in, the heater kept flipping the breaker, and they were like, "Oh, it's all messed up. It's all messed up." So I went in to another area, to another building, where they had a heater going, but it was too warm, and I was like, "Yeah." I think I dozed off for a minute or two there, and I'm like, "No, I got to go back." So I just messed around and put the heater. It's one of those portable plug-in heaters, and I just put it at a lower setting. It was on high, and I just put it on low, and it took a while to get it warmed back up because it was probably about 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning at that point. So, hey, The Rock, welcome. But, I saw the mystery of the breaker flipping heater. You just got to turn on low and let it run. But something I wanted to talk about tonight is, part of it is a current event, and everyone knows about the fires in California. I mean, they're going crazy. But a few days ago, there was some pictures that were being put up, and something interesting, started emerging. One was a picture of a tree that was burning, and the thing is, it was burning from the inside down at the base, and it was like burning from the inside out. I mean, the inside of the tree, it was glowing red, burning. It was a green tree, but it was burning slow. But the bark on the outside wasn't scorched. There was, brush and debris, little, the ends of limbs, they break and they fall. Those were not burned. The grass and the ground around it was not burned. So somehow, the inside of this tree, down at the stump, probably about a foot off the ground, started burning from the inside. It was burning from the inside out. Hey, Raymond, welcome. And like I said, it was burning from the inside out, and it burned, weakened, the tree fell over. Darn it. There we go. A little bit better. So how is this? Is fire coming up into the to the roots? There was another thing I seen, was like part of a power pole. The power pole had burnt, and it was like hanging, and the poles on each side of it were still standing up and holding the wires, holding it taut. So this power pole is probably only about, maybe say 5 feet of the top, and it's hanging. All the rest of it burned. So, I mean, I was thinking about that today, and that reminds me, I started thinking uh, about something else that happens. It's usually referred to as spontaneous human combustion, where somebody can just literally, like a human, can literally burst into flames, burn so hot that they're a pile of ashes, and all the things around them are untouched. Like if they're sitting in a chair, the chair will have scorch marks and it'll be burned a little bit, but there'll be a pile of ashes in the chair, and you might have a pair of feet on the floor still there, but everything else is just burnt to the point of being incinerated, including bones. So I just started thinking about that, but it's like, if these trees and power lines, you know, it's obviously going to be wood starting. What what's causing that? Is it really winds breaking power lines, or is that just an excuse that we're being spoon-fed? I just want to hear somebody else's thoughts on it. What do you guys think? I'll look down here at the comments again. Yeah, see, Christine, that's what it's not really being addressed. It's just oh, winds are blowing lines, or they had yeah, you're right, Lou. I mean, it's a really high temperature. It's really fast. Everything is just ash. Sometimes there'll be if they're standing, sometimes there'll be a hole in the floor. But you think that amount of heat, if they're in a home, that amount of heat, it's, I mean, you have couches that I know, furniture and everything, carpet and all that, inside the home is going to have a flash point of a lot lower than the 5,000 degrees. Yeah, there's something going on. There's definitely something going on there, and we're not being told. Luke, you're talking to me. I'm in California. I'm not too far from John's over at the coast, so he's probably about a 2-hour drive from me. Hey, Atlantis, welcome. Let's see. Oh, wait, we gotta change this over to live chat. Okay. Uh, yeah, I really don't care for those smart meters. All they do is just drive around, and yeah, the fires are actually, um, they're north of me, or maybe some south. It seems like, yeah, they're all. It seems like the biggest part is up by the Bay Area, because that's where the smoke is coming from. There's not too much down here. It's been hazy, so I'm not sure if those are clouds or smoke that is coming in, hanging overhead. I mean, this morning I got off work at 6 and I drove home and I was waiting, and I ran to the store, and I was probably 9 o'clock in the morning and I still couldn't see the sun. Hey, Paranormal Circle, welcome. Make sure I got everybody. Raymond Doolin, welcome. But I'm just trying to think of some reason is there, because I know there is a lot of earth changes going on. There's supposed to be a new island being created just south of Africa. It's starting to, I don't know if it's surfaced yet or it's getting close to surface. A new island from volcanic activity. Would volcanic activity in the ground start burning the roots and burn up through the tree? Because I know in Northern California there's at least one volcano that hasn't been active for a long, long time. But is that what's happening? And they're just, because our government really isn't, hey, let's tell everybody the truth. Yeah, static electricity, but we're talking green trees. They're red glow hot on the inside. Like I said, it's not affecting the bark. The bark doesn't look scorched. You think a tree that, even a lightning strike would leave scorch marks. But lightning isn't going to start as many storms. They're blaming it on somebody. Or like, oh, it was an arsonist, but they have him in custody. Who? Why? Usually, if that's somebody's actually doing that, there's going to be, okay, yeah, they arrested such and such from doing this, and it's just no name, no face. Oh, yeah, they were caught. Yeah, if lightning hits a dead tree, yeah, I can see it burning, but not a live tree. It could scorch, it could burn it a little bit, but it's not going to start these fires are just like all over the place, so there's more than one source, obviously. Okay, I'm going to have to look down here. Lemuria in Atlantis. Oh, wait. Started to move on me. You think an explosion would be more of an explosion. Underground, it's going to need some kind of air. Before, it's going to need air and a spark to ignite. But it just seems to me if the conditions were right, and there was an explosion, there's going to be some of that topsoil is going to be thrown out. Just like if somebody threw a little pipe bomb into a gopher hole, you're going to have a lot of dirt in the air. You're going to have people hearing it. Hey, Native Grammy, welcome. Yeah, I'm not sure if that area's on a fault, but but if that was the case, then I'm sure they would have put that out right away. It's like, oh, it was a utility pipe, but they haven't put that out yet. I'm doing pretty good. I just need to dig out a heavier jacket. I tried to run in and I couldn't find one, so I just brought a towel over my shoulders if I have to. Oh, you're probably further northern U.S. where there's ice. We just feel like there's ice here. But yeah, if it was store through underground. Well, these are in this area. I don't think you're not going to have a lot of underground in like a mountainous area. It's easier just to use a big auger and stick it above ground, just for the simple fact of having to repair. Because in the mountains, it's not going to be like, oh, let's just dig a trench. It's like, okay, let's start digging a trench, and all of a sudden they start hitting large granite boulders. But the power lines are over, and that's the excuse they're using, is the wind is blowing the power lines over. Is that the case? Or are these trees and these power lines starting to burn from the inside, weaken, fall over, and then the one picture I saw, it was still, the power line was still hanging, but if you get a couple of them, yeah, then they're probably going to fall over and maybe some broken lines. Because, I mean, seriously, if it was power lines, then this would have been a serious issue for a long, long time. It's not something that would have been coming up over the last few years. Strong winds are doing this now. Hey, Lori B, welcome. But I mean, it could be some, volcanic activity. Hey, Michael, welcome. Yeah, green trees, living trees. It's like the fire is coming up through the roots of the tree and into the center of the tree. Because that's something else about, like, if it was a like natural explosion, the explosion is going to scorch the bark of the tree. Hey, Michael, EV Peace. Yeah, see, I know that's something I haven't really. I mean, could this be something else? I mean, I don't think the our elected officials will basically are giving us everything they know. They may know nothing. They may have absolutely no clue, and they're just making excuses to try to cover. But I mean, is there some sort of experiment, and they're testing it on us? Because it seemed like the coasts are getting hammered pretty bad here this year, 2018. It's like the East Coast has been, I mean, literally hammered with not typhoons, but hurricanes. And then we got fires on this coast, Around the Gulf area, that's been hammered with storms. I mean, there's something about the coastlines, but we also California sits off the Ring of Fire. Um, a lot of earth changes. There's been something else I heard. Some satellite feed has in Antarctica has discovered some like large void areas where there's like 2 miles down below the ice. There's actually voids that think that something's causing it to melt away. So, is that another volcanic activity down there? I got a neighbor coming in, new neighbor. But yeah, what else could cause, something to start burning from the inside out? Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking, some sort of, am I slow over here? Oh, wait, no, I'm faster. Oh, there's a tsunami? Yeah, but it could be energy weapons. Some sort of, like a microwave. A real precise microwave that can penetrate. Because what I started to say is even if, like it was gas line explosions and stuff, it's gonna burn, the area. It's gonna burn the outside of the tree. It's gonna burn the area. It's not gonna be. Okay, I'm trying to make sure because we got more than one idea. Well, we got the tsunami. Superheat the ground, but it'd have to be superheat the inside of something else as well. Because that picture keeps coming back to my mind. Is the bark is okay? There's brush around on the ground. The ground just got grass and dead grass, and none of that was burned. The only thing that was burning was the inside of the tree, and that's what. It's kind of for me. It's ruling out a lot of. Was it an arsonist? What's an arsonist? How's an arsonist gonna burn the inside of a tree without damaging the outside? Hey, Kyoko, welcome. Let's see. Okay, Christine, you have a good night. Don't forget to smash that like button on the way out. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing some card readings since my work schedule they canceled again. But that doesn't surprise me this time of the year because they're trying to crank out as much wine for the holidays as possible. Really push it out. But yeah, energy weapons is, could be possible. Is it a test? Is it, weather control? We've known that there's been HARP who has, excuse me, tried to do that under the guise of radio antenna. But I mean, it's just, it is really baffling. I just hope I don't go to sleep tonight and dream about that picture. It was just so weird. And then look at all the destruction. It's just, I mean, that fire is just moving flat ass fast. So, I mean, if somebody did have some other control with a directed energy beam, yeah, they could do that and then kick the winds up just a little bit. It wouldn't even need, I mean, you don't need a hurricane force winds, just, 40, 50 miles an hour is going to really push. And so far, I mean, it's been cold. It's been really cold here, but I haven't noticed a lot of, there should be more dew in the morning, A couple weeks ago, I noticed that at this time I'd be out here, there'd be already dew forming on stuff, and right now it's not. It's not. It's midnight, and this has been sitting out here for 45 minutes, and it's perfectly dry. It's a dry cold. Cold as shit, but it's not wet. And usually there's dew on the ground. Even this, I'll say, late at night / early in the morning. Because I've been out here probably just a couple weeks ago. And I'd be going till 1, and before I even finish, I noticed there's a layer of moisture all over my equipment that I have sitting out here on the tailgate. So we don't have the moisture, but even if we did, I don't think it's going to stop a raging forest fire. And there was a video, I don't know if anybody, that is why I got this second phone. Somebody's calling me at midnight. Okay. Why, I don't know. I have no idea who it is. But there was no name attached to it, so probably a wrong number. Something else I did find out today, I had to call my new employer and tell them, because the client requested me to be there at the site. Oh, was you calling? Oh, okay. How'd you get my number? The spirit box? Michael? You've been talking to the spirits again, haven't you? And they gave you my number. Oh, sorry. They gave you my number. Well, I got the office number. So that's where it should be coming from. And then I've got the account I'm working at. I got the site in there. So if it's work, then it wasn't might have been a local number. There was no name. And if it was work, they would have called me back already. So does anybody have... Oh yeah, it was work. But I'm not going to drive to Clovis at midnight. Yeah, they said they tried to get me something, but at the local Clovis, Jesus Christ, Clovis, that's over an hour's drive. On another topic that's been talked about, I don't want to, since they're not here, I know they were doing a thing, was UFOs. It's like there's been an increase of talk of aliens here lately, UFOs and aliens. Uh, no, I haven't heard about that, Raymond. So I know we've gone to, we're kind of jumping over real quick from fire, but if these were energy weapons, I don't know if they're energy weapons or if it's something more like natural that's happening because of all the earth changes we're having. It could be energy weapons, but I just brought up that spontaneous human combustion because that's something that I've been hearing about for decades. I mean, is there something that? What exactly is that? What causes that? I mean, static electricity buildup. It's like we're talking about some hot fires, hot and fast. Yeah, it's been really. I noticed there's been a lot of other streams. There was another stream on tonight where they were talking about someone who was had been abducted, like repeatedly abducted, and I kind of came in towards, I don't know, maybe the middle to the end, so I really didn't get everything that was there. But it's like, and I haven't really, well, I don't watch the sky. I mean, I'll discuss it because, that is paranormal, but um, I don't plan on going around chasing ET, watching the sky. Shoot, I don't even have a pair of binoculars for that. But I know there's supposed to be a lot of activity just south of me. Yeah, that's the excuse they use, but cigarettes, because I have fallen asleep with a cigarette and like burned a hole in my clothes, and I feel it. Man, I woke up damn fast. I was sitting in a chair and I woke damn fast. Um, but yeah, I started, and that was one thing that I do remember them saying. But it's like, how does a body burn that fast, that hot? I don't foresee it really coming from a cigarette and them saying, oh yeah, like the body fat's like a wax. That's going to burn slow. That's not going to burn. I mean, even if during the what does it take when somebody cremates a body? What does it take? It takes like literally something like a blast furnace, an hour to char the turn the bone into ashes. I mean, everything else is going to go up because that fire's going to have to burn for a while. That's why I don't buy that. Just natural things, because then there's a lot of smokers out there, and there'd be a whole lot more of it than just a, random here and there, which the spontaneous human combustion it's pretty darn rare. I don't think it's cigarettes either, Kyoko. I think that's just a way of trying to explain something off that they have no idea what's causing it. Cigarettes. Okay, well, what if they don't have a cigarette lit at the time? And then again, just like I said, that one time I fell asleep and I had it in my right hand, and my hand was sitting on my leg. Uh, that shit woke me up. I mean, it's not a hot fire, but it's probably, a cigarette's probably what, a couple hundred degrees, 300 degrees. So how are you going to get something hot enough to burn bone from that? And then you get a fire, like what I'm trying to say is, you get a fire hot enough to burn bones, to burn the bone. Um, that is going to set a lot more stuff on fire around the person. So it's a different type of fire. It's not like, oh, it's an open flame fire. It's a different type of fire. Cigarette's going to have a flame. It's going to be from a flame. This here. Oh, it's already on live chat. Okay. Hey, John, welcome. And we were talking about, I don't know if you come in, we were talking about the California fires that's going on, and some of the pictures I've seen. I don't know if you've seen any of them, but one that really, it keeps jumping out to me, is there's a tree is burning from the outside. I mean, it burned to the point where, and this was around the stump area, where it weakened and it fell over. Okay, all the embers on the inside are red hot. It's red hot. Everything around it's nothing scorched. There's no burn marks. So it's like the fire actually emanated from inside the tree itself and started burning out and up. The bark's fine. There's no scorch marks on the outside of the bark. Didn't look like a dead tree. Looked like a green tree. So something's heating up, drying it out, and like burning it. But that's what it looked like. If you throw a log into the fire, and it's going to start, you're going to have the surface area burn first, and then it's going to burn down towards the center, and then eventually it's going to break down, and you're just going to have red hot embers. Well, that's what it's good. You got red hot embers, but the bark is fine. The dry grass around it. It doesn't take much to get the dry grass burning. It's not on fire. Get away from the smoke. Huh. So are they gonna like? Are they evacuating small communities around San Francisco? Because I've been asleep most of the day, which kind of sucks. I got all thrown off last night. I come home, slept for a little while, was up, and I'm like, well, this is probably around 6 o'clock. It's like, okay, I'm gonna take a 2 hour nap, maybe three. Set the alarm for like 9 o'clock, and I woke up at 10:30, almost 10:30. And I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like jumping up, trying to turn on my phone and set my start time up, and I was debating should I do it at 11:30 or 11:45, give me more time. So I boot up my little phone that I use for live stream, and I start to, hit the go live. I type in my title, and everything freezes, and it's like no response on anything. I had to pull the back open and pull the battery out, and then put it back in and restart the phone. So I don't know what that was about. Hotel where? Oh, okay. Okay, so it's not the danger of fire; it's just the smoke. Oh, yeah. I remember something about um, people in that area actually wearing not the paper mask, but the full-blown, like what the explorers wear with the air filters, the two air filters on the side. People actually buying those and wearing them outside. I mean, our air isn't that bad yet, but we're quite a ways away. Okay, it's gonna kind of look through here. Micro power fire starter. I don't know. I mean, if there is, I'm sure it's going to be weaponized. If it's really, really effective, yeah, it'll probably be weaponized before we even know it exists. Let me do something here. Come here. Okay. I'll go back to my. What is a BIC? Oh, are you talking about that little clicker inside? Most of the BICs I have is off of a little flint. So I know I've seen a demonstration where they take those and they kind of hard to explain. They put a little piece of metal in one of those like power strips, and they plug it into itself, and then they put like a little piece of metal, and they take one of those little click, like electronic lighters. Um, and it clicks in, and actually the current keeps circulating inside, and it just keeps circulating. And they plug like a fan in, and like a little lamp in, and they're working, and it's just like it just keeps circulating. But I don't know. It's really puzzling. I mean, I wasn't really thinking of a weapon as far as starting the fires. It was more like, is this a natural occurrence, or could it have something to do with the Earth's magnetic field? Because we know there's a lot of changes in. Let's see. Oh shit. Okay, hold on. There we go. Something stopped here. Here we go. Reese's Pieces? Nope. Oh, Kathy's Nature Adventures and Designs. Welcome. This chair. Kenneth, the Kentucky fan. Welcome. With the Met, because I mean it's obvious that there's a lot of changes going on. Like I was saying, we got the Hawaiian volcano that's been going, making literally reshaping the Big Island. We got another island coming up south of Africa, and don't know is volcanoes what's causing some of the ice caps to melt. Hey, Pokey, welcome. Oh, I was just talking about volcanic activity. It's reshaping the Big Island, and because I heard within the last couple of days there's another island, a new island, starting to emerge. I don't know if it's broke the surface yet or it's just under the surface, uh, south of Africa in the ocean. So we got islands being changed. We got volcanoes going off everywhere. We got earthquakes everywhere. Not sure what's causing it. Hey, I'm City Angel, welcome. Uh, yeah, I mean, California's always burned. It's like every year. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, come on back. Kenneth, sorry to hear that. Oh, but I hope he pulls through it real, gets back on his feet pretty quick. What's the second one? Oh. Yeah, let's hope for a speedy recovery, and the second one to be the last one. I don't want a third one coming through. Your father-in-law passed away. Pokey's father-in-law passed away last Friday. Condolences, Pokey, to you and your family. just get back to the fires. I know for a long time it's like, oh, SUVs are causing this and air pollution and like greenhouse gases. It's like, well, okay, I'm pretty sure all this volcanic activity is putting some out there. Um, and volcanic activity, I don't think it's being. I don't think SUVs. My neighbor's SUV and my pickup is causing earthquakes, volcanoes. Poles have been moving. They said, some people say, well, we're due for a pole shift. I don't know. I don't know when the last one was. I don't know if they occur on a regular basis. I just because the stories they're putting out, it's like, oh, it's this, and we know that for a fact. Well, okay, and then something different is happening. It's like, oh, well, wait, no, okay, there was an error in our equations. No, you don't know what you're talking about, is what it is. You're spoon feeding us crap, and you have to keep changing the story. But seems like there has been an increase in paranormal activity, UFO activity. Hey, Ghost of Hawaii, welcome. Yeah, we're talking about spontaneous combustion and UFO activity that's increasing. So I know I don't want to get too deep in, because I watched your part 1 today. I don't want to, actually, I was early this morning, I listened to part 1 while I was at work. But I don't want to mess that up. But as far as the spontaneous combustion, that's what I'll say it again for the people that are coming in. I'll be sure to hit the like button too when you come in. Be appreciated. Spontaneous combustion is, there's a picture that I seen it, and that's what it's reminding me of. The inside of a tree is burning hot, and the bark is untouched. It's burning from the inside out. And it was not too far off the ground. Well, you can use a gas. Well, I wouldn't use propane inside. If you see those little propane heaters that you screw right on to those 5 or 7 gallon tanks, it says do not use indoors. So yeah, good to see you, Ghost of Hawaii. I enjoyed your stream last night. Or God, I'm not sure if it was last night or early this morning, because I kind of went from 10 a.m. or no, I'm sorry, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I'm not sure what time it was. So if anybody's got any ideas about how that would happen naturally, there's got to be a heat source there, but could it be a certain type of energy that the Earth releases or something? There's got to be a source for it. Oh, Center Stars is going off. Okay, thanks for coming in, Chris. I hope you're still here and sleep well. You can come back and check it, check out what continued in the morning. But I think that they do have an idea. Some of the governments of the world have an idea what is happening. They just don't want. They don't want to reveal it because one, it could be some weaponized technology that they have and someone else has, or it's coming from something that they have absolutely no control of, because that's their power trip, keeping control. So because I mean, even thinking back, and things have never been like I said. California burns every year. It's like, oh, the California wildfire. Oh, okay, again, we're this time. Go back over here and read that. Yeah, it could be the Earth's way of fighting back. But I think that would usually. Yeah, I mean, that could be the Earth's way of fighting back, but I don't think it's like, okay, I'm gonna just. They're thinking, okay, well, the Earth thinking, yeah. There's like reaction. It's like, okay, I'm gonna destroy as much of my natural surface area as possible. I think it would be more earthquakes because we got those, and oh, something else. I said earthquakes. It didn't even really go into. It's like we got the ground actually opening up and separating in different countries. I think there's one up. I'm not sure if it's in Oregon or Washington or something. It seems like there was. I seen a picture where it's like part of a mountain, and it was kind of like one side was like it went all the way up the mountain, and then down the other side, and there's like a little gap opening up. We've got, what was that? I see so many of these as I'm busy, and I can't remember all the locations. There was one that was a like a construction area, and they were saying, oh, it's just heavy equipment on the road, and it goes on for like a mile, couple miles, where the road is just like it's all separating, and you can see like this anywhere between 3 inches and then like 6 and 8 inches openings, where the road is just the ground underneath the road is just literally opening up. So I mean, is this pole shift that has been going on? Well, it's kind of slowly. It's speeding up as time goes on. It's speeding up, but it's been going on for over a decade, where it's kind of shifting. It's moving a little bit. I don't know about a pole reversal or a pole flip, where we got the positive charge at the top and then the negative at the bottom, and all of a sudden it's like whips it. I don't think that's something that can happen like in the blink of an eye. There's going to be a lot more turmoil before that would happen. I mean, is this something about the UV magnetic field not some areas weakening, giving out. So UV's been going up. Another thing that it's older news, but it wasn't really. I didn't really see that much talk about it. Is the Pacific Ocean? Um, there is like a big heat source down, way down under the water, and it's like a massive heat source. Is that volcanic activity? Um, because they got these satellites that can go around and measure temperature from space. How that all works, I don't know. Um, that's something a lot of people say, yeah, they got this, and here's our results. But the Pacific Ocean has been heating up in an area probably off the coast of like Oregon, Washington, lower Canada. It's a big area. It's been heating up. They don't know what the source is. I'm thinking if it was some sort of volcanic activity. Shit, lost something. Well, I lost a cap. I'm sure it's around here somewhere. I'm sure if it was volcanic activity, they would have said, oh yeah, well, we got the ring of fire. It's causing this heating up, but they're not doing it. It was just an unknown cause. It's gonna bug me. Where is that on button? Found it. There we go. Okay. Oh, too bright. There we go. Oh, John's taking off. Okay, thanks for coming in, John. You sleep well. But as I was saying, if it was, I mean, that's the first thought that came to my mind because we got the ring of fire there. Is that causing it? Is it? Um, they never said. They don't know what the cause. Could it be a buildup of radiation from the what's that? Fukushima, that power plant in Japan that's been spewing radioactivity into the ocean. Is there a spot there where it's starting to build up and then get hot? Radioactivity, maybe some nuclear waste that's building up in that area. Hey PJ, welcome. Good to see you here. That's something I'm going to do tomorrow is card readings. I want to do the Dragon Oracle cards, but I just opened it up and I'm gonna have to go through and familiarize myself with those cards because they're talking about like not just Dragon Oracles, but they're like most of them. When you get a book and you got it, and it's all in alphabetical order. This one is not in alphabetical order. The cards where it has the little definitions and tries to explain it. It doesn't have that. It's in the order of dimensions. Fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, seventh dimension. So it's like you got to scroll through all these pages and to try to find it. So I'm gonna have to try to familiarize myself with that. I may just do my Celtic deck, which is another new deck. Is Blessed Be. Um, so I don't know if I'll have which one I'll have tomorrow, and then I'll do probably later on in the week, because as of right now, it's like I said, I was scheduled to work this weekend, but that's kind of up in the air. I'm not going to run to a Walmart in Clovis, which is, I know a lot of people think I'm in Fresno for some reason, because that's where the office is. Clovis, yeah, that would take me, I mean, just sticking to the freeway, it takes me an hour to get to the office, and that's doing between 70 and 75 miles an hour, and it's still a 1 hour drive. Dealing with traffic and all that, yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with that tonight. Plus, I would have no idea where Walmart in Clovis is anyway. But I mean, it is obvious that there's a lot of earth changes going on. Let's see what everybody else thinks. What do you think about all this volcanic activity? And do you have any ideas what could be? I want to get your feedback. And everybody stop talking. It's probably going to be during the daytime, probably in the afternoon. That way, I have more light to read. Because I mean, the stuff is like some of the print. I don't really know why. I mean, why are they using like a 7? It's like, seriously, it's like a 6 or 7. Some of the bigger font is 8 or 9-point font. Uh, yeah. Yeah, the volcanoes are really, really active. Um, I really have no plans for Tom Turkey Day. Now the fracking, yeah, the fracking's like, I think it's fracking is probably faster and cheaper for the oil companies, but and what's funny is one oil company said that fracking is not, there's no ill side effects to fracking. It's not causing volcanoes, or not volcanoes, earthquakes. But yet, here's the kicker. Um, they wanted to, I don't know if it was his company or another company, wanted to do fracking in the area where he lived, and he said no, and he fought it. So it's like, okay, dude, you're saying this, but when it's close to your house, it's a different story. It's not an issue until it's next to your house. Then, oh no, well, we can't have that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is the volume that's going on. We got massive earthquakes. We've got um, a lot of volcanic activity, and some people are saying it's because right now of the planetary alignment. It's like all the planets are on the same 180 degree, same side of the sun, And probably a couple months ago, um, we were having a lot of sand being kicked up from the Sahara Desert in Africa, and at the same time, Mars was having a planet-wide dust storm for, I don't know, a week or two. And then even Mars, there was a volcano that had been dormant for, I don't know, like 500,000 years or 1,000,000 years. Started, there was a big plume, and some people thought it was active, but somebody else was saying, another scientist was saying, no, it was just water pressure being released, and it was like all water vapor. It's like, okay, then if it's water vapor, then there is a lot of, because it was big. Well, if it's water vapor, then there's a lot of water on Mars, and it's not barren. It's not from the past. They're still there. Yeah, it's kind of like if you take a water hose and you put a nozzle in it and you stick it down in a gopher hole, how it'll kick all that dirt up. I mean, that's what I understand fracking to be. And then they just keep, as it kicks it up and it comes out, they just keep pushing it down instead of having an actual, like a auger type drill a hole. They do it that way through high pressure. But there does seem to be a lot, I mean, a lot of changes happening, like all at the same time. What's the deal? I don't think it's the end of humankind, or some people say the rapture or the end of times. I don't think it's that. I mean, could be, but I think all the changes there's been, some of it's nature, and I think some of it is the hand of man playing with things that they shouldn't, and this is a result. Could it be the what is it, that hate? What's that in Sweden? That collider, that big collider. What's the name of that? Does does that have something to do with it too? Is that feeding into it? Are they smashing particles into each other that they shouldn't be? Oh, the quickening. Oh, okay. Art Bell. I remember Art Bell. I listened to him back in, oh geez, probably in the mid '90s. He was on. I was working a night shift, and it's like there's not a whole lot to really do when you're out in the middle of nowhere, but you got radio waves. So you click on and start listening to Art Bell. And he talked about everything. The quickening, okay. I'll have to check into his thing about the quickening. The only quickening I know was like from Highlander. Something happens when two of them, I can't even remember all the details of that. But there was I think it was Highlander 2, they talked about the quickening. Oops. Oh, ghost researchers, welcome. If you're just coming in, please be sure to smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Everyone I see in the chat, I've seen them in before. If you're lurking, yeah, just go ahead and you can subscribe. Yeah, I listen to it quite a bit, and if you listen to them for a few years, and then I stopped working the night shift, and I really didn't want to stay up at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, because the job I was doing then basically went from, we'd start at 7 in the morning and go till probably 7 at night, sometimes 8 at night. So when I got home, it was just eat, shower, go to bed, get up, and then repeat Monday through Friday. Okay, Atlantis, I have no idea who W60BB on HF. Please expand that thought. Oh, okay, Art Bell. Man, I need to get a throw pillow for this chair. A documentary about China and... Oh, wait. Oh, that's Art Bell call sign? Oh, okay. There was somebody's... I gotta go back. Oh, the documentary about China and California and the fires. No, I haven't heard anything. PJ, you got my messenger. If you could throw me a link that way, I'll check it out after this. Yeah, I know Ray the Fam. I've done a couple collabs with them. We did one up the Frontier Town, my Frontier Town video. Did that with him, and then I was up there another time. We did a live stream from his house with the spirit box. And I'm just waiting. I want to get back up there again. I'm just waiting because I got with the office today and told them that the client requested that I go to a certain location. They wanted me to stay because they subcontract, and I've been working at their facility for it'll be 8 years in January, and they went with another contractor, but they said, okay, hire this guy and put him at this location, and we want him to have full time. So it's like they've been kind of dragging their feet on the full time, and I told them, okay guys, 11 hours 1 week, 26th the next, and I told him this morning, um, this time right here is where the checks come out for the rent, and I said if you don't kick it up to at least 32 for a couple of weeks or 40, I said my new address will be my license plate because I won't have the money for rent. So they got back, and this week's going to be pretty lame, but they're going to move. They talked to one of the people who does the contract for our company, and they're like, yes, this is a big client, and they wanted this person to be here, and there's there's probably like 7 or 8 different sites that they contracted to cover, so it's a big client. So they want to, those are the kind they want to keep happy. There's probably 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's probably going to be a good, probably somewhere between 35 and 45 people that this contract is employing over just in this area right here. So Article 21, oh, okay. Article 21 or Agenda 21? PJ, yeah, PJ, you said Article 21. I know there's an Agenda 21 and there's an Agenda 2030. Agenda 21 was kind of the bigger overall picture, and then Agenda 2030 is more of the targeted. Okay, this is by this time more detailed. Okay, Renee, I don't know everything what you're saying in there, but I know Domo Arigato, but the only thing I know about Domo Arigato is followed by a Mr. Roboto. Okay, PJ, we'll be right here. And if you can find a link or something, give me more information where I could hunt it down through my messenger, I'd appreciate that because I'd like to see that. Well, Kyoko understands everything he's saying. Like I say, the only thing is like, I wasn't in Japan for very long, but I just went over there to get a boat and bring it back to Hawaii. That's when I was stationed in Hawaii. We had one of the large landing craft that could, it was the size of a football field. And it was a Beechcraft, and that's the one that carried a lot of you could put a lot of tanks on that deck. And just drive it right up to the beach, drop the front, and have them spill off. Like big tanks too, a dozen of them easy. A couple support vehicles with extra fuel. I still got my favorite. It's been my favorite for a couple of years now. There's nothing on this tube, but my little unicorn bottle. Some banana nut bread. And it tastes just like banana nut bread, but right now it's tasting like really cold banana nut bread. Because things be like ice out here right now. Let's see, why? Oh, God, I don't even remember what. I'm not even sure. It was a naval base in Japan where the boat was. I don't even remember the name of it. Crap, that was like, hell, 35 years ago. I was only there for probably about a month and a half. I did go off base, like right off. You'd like walk right out the gates, and there was like a big area. It's called the Haunch, and it was just like freaking clubs. I mean, both sides of the street, it was just clubs. You'd have little hotels and little restaurants, but most of it was clubs. And they had gambling on base. There was little slot machines on the on base club. There was little slot machines, and I played one of the dime machines. I got like $1 in dimes, and I sit there and I just kind of dropped one dime at a time. And when I walked away, I went from $1 to $18. So it was like I had a big old fat pocket full of dimes. I was actually in the Army, and I know a lot of people like didn't know it, but the Army and the ones we had a landing craft. Most of them were smaller, just about like 100 feet long, and then we had a big one. It was the second biggest beach craft that our government had. And I was getting kind of old, but the stuff we had was like the landing craft utility, and it was Vietnam. It was used in Vietnam. We had and if anybody looks up the LCU 1526, that's one of them that I was on. Those were used in Vietnam, and that's what I would not navigate it. It was like I would drive it. I was like the wheelman, and if we were like in time, would be in a time of battle, I was the gunner. So I was like off to the side of the wheelhouse, firing the M60 as we took the beach. Hey Lori, welcome back. But that's what we did. It was actually Army, and when we were in Hawaii, it was I gotta pronounce it right, like Koalawi or Koalabi. It's basically an island that was used for target practice by ships. But right now at that time there was a whole bunch of CBs on it, and that's what we did. We take equipment and like some of the water buffaloes, and we take them and drop them off on the beach, and then just leave. And sometimes we go back and we pick up the empties, and that's what we pretty much did there. It was just not really a whole lot going on, but when we went to Japan, that boat went over, the large landing craft went over, and it went through dry dock over there, and we had to bring it back. And that's when I went over. We flew over and brought it back. And I'll tell you one thing: if you're ever like on a flat bottom boat like that, and you're going out in the open ocean, and you start getting into a storm where there's a lot of waves and swells, it's like you come up, and the bottom of the boat just comes and just like slaps the water, and it's like the whole ship shakes, and it's like, damn, is this thing gonna break in half or what? Okay, you have a good morning or afternoon, good day, Raymond. Thanks for coming in. So that was an adventure. It was coming back from Japan to Hawaii. It was about 25 days it took us. We weren't a high-speed vessel. Okay, I'm gonna look down here. Okay, we're talking about animation. Hey, Sandra, two-dimensional paranormal. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Oh, okay. I'll have to do that. Whoops. Okay. Can you, PJ, thanks. Can you send me that in Messenger? Let's see, 1:01 a.m. Because I don't know if it'll still be here when after the rendering. I mean, I can see it now. Okay. Yeah, I can see it in my chat, on my stream, the link, but I can't see it in the regular stream. Okay, hold on, PJ. Let me go over to this. Dang it, come on. Okay. I just sent you something, PJ, so it should show up in Messenger, or the Messenger should give you an alert. Okay, I got the alert. Now I can go in after. That's weird because I could see the link on this phone in the live stream, but when I'm looking down, which I'm using most of my other for reading the chat, it's not there. So that's weird. So how are you doing tonight, Sandra? I caught caught the video you did. I'm trying to remember. Either yesterday or today. It's probably yesterday or last night I saw it. Where it's like you were in a park. Oh, it's morning there now? Oh, okay, yeah. Because you're like, what, 10 hours ahead, so it's probably somewhere between 9 and 11. I'm not sure about the time zones now. We just went through our change. Damn. Somebody needs to get their brakes checked. Yeah, I noticed that that one bright, it was a bright light, but it was too quick. That you put a little arrow and said that it wasn't a bird. But yeah, it looked like it was actual a light source. And then when you were pulling out, what was it, your SB7, it was like certain areas they'd like lighten up and then darken and lighten up and darken. Okay, wait a minute. I gotta get caught up here. Oh, the Ireland, yeah, the Ireland UFO. Yeah, I heard that. The pilot's talking about it. It was it was on a video. It was just basically showed a picture of an airplane and the pilot's talking about it. I don't remember what channel it was on. It was I don't know if it was on Secure Team 10 or if it was on another one I watch. I don't remember. Yeah, it might have been something like that. Oh, using the laptop, the little pad on there. Yeah, I know. The little mouse, you can sit there and you got that scroll button, or you can just sit there and roll it and go down, and it's like, but that on a laptop, you got to sit there and hold the key down. You got to hold one of the buttons down, and then do this on the pad. That's kind of a pain. Oh, you watch it too, Kyoko? Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, like he does. I mean, he actually does some research into the stuff, and there's some of the things that's like he'll put up, and I'll look at it, and he'll show it, and I'm like, that doesn't really seem like a UFO. It seems like something else. And then he'll like, this is what it looks like, and he'll say exactly what I just thought. I'm like, oh, okay, good. So he's not one of those that's like, oh my God, it's a UFO. Like, no, that was I mean, one of them actually looked like a fish at one time. It's like, okay, that's obviously a, a small blimp because just the way it was shaped and it had like a little tail on it that looked like a blimp. It's like, okay, that's just a blimp. And they're like, he'll check into it. It's like, yeah, in this area they were doing this, and it was a blimp. So it's okay. Well, there's been some where somebody will send footage in and he'll show it, and he's like, and I checked into it further, and there was like a drone show where they had drones lit up and they were doing different formations and stuff. Probably 5 miles where the video was taken. It's like, okay, it was drones. Oh, Lincolnshire? Okay. Oh, darn it. I need to get out of that. No, damn it. Oh, I don't want to copy and paste. Okay. Well, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like button. I'm probably going to wind this down a bit here. I don't know what time it is. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. And I do want to warm back up and bind a warmer jacket. My mom sent some of my dad's stuff over, so I got to go through it because I know he's got some nice jackets in there. Oh wait, what's that? Yeah, we can't see satellites too much here. where I'm at now. Now, if I go camping, yeah, go camping up in the mountains, yeah, you can sit there and see satellites. You can see if you know what you're looking at, see the International Space Station. And we did that at one time. It was back when it was probably 20 years ago now, back when they still had the shuttle program. And we were trying to watch for this space shuttle as it went over. It's like, is that it? It's like, no, that's a satellite. No, that's a satellite. Oh, no, that's a ISS. See what? Snorting what? Snorting cocaine in interstellar space. Um, yeah, I don't know how. I mean, how would somebody sneak that up there? Because I mean, they're real. They're yeah, they're pretty picky and as far as like the inspections, making sure there's everything's sanitary, because they don't want to take a lot of extra bacteria up there that could mutate in space and then come back down. And 2 weeks later, we'd have a zombie apocalypse. There is. There is goes to Hawaii. That's why that was my original plan tonight, because I seen a lot of that, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to talk a lot about UFOs tonight. And then I seen your stream, and it's like, okay, maybe not. We'll talk about something else, because I don't want to sit there and really get in depth into UFOs here, and then you've got something. It's like, don't say it on my channel. Save it for your series. You want part 2, part 3, whatever. So I was like, okay, what else am I going to do? Oh, I have that picture I saw. So that's what I started off with. As Sandra, as far as TV, I don't have TV service. I don't have home internet. I haven't had TV service in a long time. I got a TV, but I got a Blu-ray player, and then I've got, oh God, I got to go through literally. My daughter brought, when she was here, she brought a bunch of CD movies. I had probably 30 or 40, probably more than that, because I got some box sets, so I probably had a good 40 or 50 different CDs or DVDs with movies. And she left some of her stuff here, and slowly I was tossing it out, because I don't have the room in my studio. And it's like I'm coming across all these DVDs, and I literally probably have, I don't know, 300 in there. They're not all in their little cases. They're in like sleeves, catalogs. Okay. There's someone over there. But my TV is not, it's just a little 32-inch. That's all I have room for. But I do have a lot of DVDs. And I think mine's a 1080p. I don't need all that. Well, when I was getting it, the 4Ks were just starting to come out. I don't think they had 4Ks yet. I think it was still in the works. They had those curved TVs where it kind of curves on the edges. I was like, yeah, I don't need one of those. Take up half a wall. Oh, okay. Yeah, he'd have to smuggle that, because it's like, did he stitch it into a suit, or did he stitch it into his carry-on? But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wind this down for tonight, guys. Get in there where it's warm. Um, Please keep a watch out tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be morning or afternoon when I get up. Um, that's going to be during the daylight hours Pacific time that I do the card readings, preferably warm. And I'll just have to whip my truck around so the sun's not behind me. And I have asked, I don't know if I have any on video. I've asked during Spirit Box sessions, are ETs real? Several times, and I haven't got a definite yes or no answer, so that's still up in the air. If they are, they aren't. The spirits weren't answering. So I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. Keep an eye out for my notification in the morning or in the afternoon, so make sure you hit the notification bell. Smash the like button on the way out. I appreciate everybody coming in, spending time in my stream. I'm going to say have a good day, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Sleep well, and until next time, everyone, stay safe.